Ladies and gentlemen, after a East Coast trip, which found him broadcasting with us from Augusta at the Masters and also Hilton Head, back in studio, unscripted with the crack man, Bill Krackomberger, everybody. His intro music. Get it. Bill, you put a smile on my face when you're in the studio. How you doing, man?
Hey, how we doing?
Now, let me just, for those who need to picture your life, when you fly, what do you do? First class or business class? You do the recliner? What are you doing?
You know, it depends on the airline. JetBlue has a great mint service, my favorite. Mm-hmm. From L.A., it's unbelievable. But, I mean, it's still good here, but L.A.'s better. L.A. has a great mint service. L.A. to JFK.
What are you saying? Mint service? What are you saying?
It's called Mint. Uh-huh. That's their first class service, JetBlue.
Mint service.
So I love JetBlue.
Yeah.
From Newark, New Jersey, United has an unbelievable first-class seat at night, which you can get for like literally $600 each way, which is great for first class.
First class is crazy expensive typically.
It is very expensive.
Yeah.
So $600. And I just flew back from Hilton Head. Hilton Head Airport, connector through Charlotte to here on American. That was like a dime. But you know, I'm more comfortable. I have to have a.
When you pay, where you're like, I got a dime for you.
It's a dime. It's $1,000.
Yeah.
So, also, I'll tell you right now. I know people make fun of you, make fun of me. I'll do Spirit in the big front seat. They have great destinations for me. So they have Myrtle Beach, which is a couple of my friends, some of the biggest gamblers in the world in Myrtle Beach. People don't realize that. Myrtle Beach. They do Fort Lauderdale nonstop. They do Newark nonstop. Once in a while, they'll have Atlantic City Airport even. So from Atlantic City Airport to Myrtle Beach nonstop to Fort Lauderdale, Vegas nonstop, really good nonstops, big front seat. You can get away with it for under $300 each way.
And you're still wearing a mask? You wore a mask before it became pandemic fashion.
I wore a mask before it was like pandemic, but I don't wear a mask now.
You don't do it
I'm
now?
all done with that stuff.
You're done with it?
I'm all done with any kind of, now they pulled the shots off the market. I'm all done with it. I can't take it no more.
Okay.
Just, right. But I mean, I understand why people do. Some people do it. I don't understand driving around, seeing people outside walking all by themselves with the mask. I don't get that. I don't even want to get it because I'm not political. I'm not following news. But yeah. So anyway, some really nice trips back east. It was a fun time. I was in Florida, Myrtle Beach, Hilton Head, Augusta. Didn't get to do that a lot. Usually I travel during football season. Didn't get to do it a lot this year.
Can't thank you enough for going outside of the grounds there.
Did that for you.
I really appreciate that.
Now, what else I did for you, you don't know.
Uh-oh.
You have a Master's grab bag.
Yes.
Now, hold on. Now, you get choices here. I can't give you everything. I'm sorry.
Oh, man.
Now, you get either the Master's green hat, which is their, I don't know if you don't seem like a hat guy, though.
Really.
You're not a hat guy. I mean, you got nice hair, too. And why are you going to mess that up?
Thank you very much.
The hair plugs? I don't even know.
Hair plugs?
No big deal. I'm just saying. No, I don't care. All right,
Either way, it looks Bill, it's hair plugs. That's what
it looks nice if it is. I don't
hair
care.
plug. It's not hair plug.
Say it on air. Sorry. A Master's keychain, which this is I put mine on already, or a Master's mug. I'll let you if you want to. Let it percolate.
Let me marinate on that.
Yeah. I possibly can give you two. I got to check the.
Which would you go with?
I'll check the stock.
Which one I would go with? I would go with the hat because I've heard that's the hardest thing to get at the Masters.
And you know it's funny you say that.
Yeah.
Having you can only get this Masters stuff at the Masters Clubhouse.
That's right.
You can't get it on eBay. You can on eBay. You can get it for a secondary market. I meant to say, which is a ridiculous they charge much more. But you can't get it from any stores like Dick's or Amazon. You have to get them on there. So
I think I'm leaning hat.
The hat. Everyone's going to terrorize you. If you wear a Masters shirt or a Masters hat, where'd you get? When did you go? You were there. And you got So
that's true.
It's so I'll let you
appreciate it.
I'll let you think about it. It's possible like that. Anyway.
So this has nothing to do with anything. It's more sports radio than it is sports betting. But upon your arrival, multiple sources saying the Oakland A's have entered an agreement for land in Las Vegas with plans to build a $1 billion, 35,000-seat stadium. The MLB team has signed a binding deal for 49 acres of land owned by Red Rock Resorts just north of Allegiant Stadium. Do we have any sound from this on Brian? Who do we have on? Oh, do we have anything here? I thought we had somebody talking about this.
we have the picture.
This is just the picture of the. Oh, I see. So that's the plot of land. So that's west of the In-N-Out for those of us, the most traveled to place in Vegas for Lyft and Uber is that In-N-Out right in the middle of the Strip, just west of the Strip. So this is just west of that, north of Allegiant. So I guess my question to you is, because I've talked about this for many years on this show, you think baseball will work here?
Football worked for sure. I mean, football brought big crowds to the, eight times a year here, or possibly more with any playoffs. But baseball on a daily basis, I don't know.
Here's my theory:
80-some games here. I don't know.
Yeah, that's it. So like hockey, resounding success. Knights get to the Stanley Cup the first year. I mean, that is just has been a beautiful thing. The Raiders, 8 home games, assuming they don't make the playoffs, which has been a pretty fair assumption so far. Well, they got to the playoffs, but not a home game a couple years ago. And then I think basketball will work. And the reason that those 3 sports will work is because there's, in the case of hockey and basketball, 41 home games. In the case of football, 8. You will have fan bases from other cities who will make it appointment trips, right? My guys in D.C., Skins are playing there? Let's all go.
Oh, yeah.
In basketball, if and when, and I think it's more when than if, that when that happens, oh my God, we're in Vegas, let's go, because that's our one time this year to do it. Hockey, same thing. And so I think that's part of that is a huge part of why those 3 sports have worked here. And I know people in Vegas like to think they're a massive metropolitan city. Well, they're not. It's 2.2 or 2.3 million, right? Baseball's 81 home dates. And people in other towns, whether it's in D.C. in my case, but Philly or Boston or New York or Chicago, wherever, aren't going to necessarily make that appointment viewing, right? So if the White Sox are playing a 4-game set in the middle of August at a stadium here, I'm not sure everybody's racing to come. And I know it'll be an indoor stadium. But like Mark Borchard, base winner, who's in Arizona, he'll even tell you, like for the Diamondbacks games, he goes, it's indoor here too, but it's still a hassle to park your car and then walk through just the oven to get to the games. The one thing I will say that I think was a great move is that the capacity of the stadium is 35,000, which is super duper small.
Yep.
But that's a good stroke. I don't know if they had to do it out of necessity or if they were being smart about it. But, in Baltimore, in the 70s and 80s, they had a Riverfront Stadium and 3 Rivers, and they were these massive football-sized stadiums for baseball. Okay. When Orioles Park at Camden Yards happened in the early 90s, they figured out, let's make it like 40,000. It'll give the appearance of huge demand. It'll be sold out. In those days, it was in Baltimore. This is taking that to the extreme, right? 35,000. So I think that's a good move, but I just think it's a different animal, baseball here.
Okay. And for people that don't exactly know where it's going to be.
Yeah.
Do we have a definitive definition? They bought real estate
yes,
in a certain
49 acres right there. So that's, if you can see, it's exactly west of the, what is that, west of the Tropicana? Is that what that is?
Yeah, so it's said to be on Tropicana and I-15, which next to that is like the Wild West Resort, which was
In-N-Out Burger.
Yeah,
exactly.
You
got it.
That's right.
So it's walked. The In-N-Out Burger will continue to be the busiest in the nation.
It's west of the In-N-Out Burger. So you know what it is? It's that whole stretch of Tropicana. Brian was saying this earlier, where it's like got all those fast food restaurants next to each other, and then on the right before the Orleans, which is known for other things.
Yeah,
by the way,
used to be the track.
That's right. So that's the area. So I mean. I want it to succeed. I just think baseball is just a little much to chew for this town.
Yeah, I mean, we're like raping Oakland of their teams.
So that's the other side.
Yeah.
So
they've to show you what's going on in Oakland. Okay.
They've lost the Raiders, then the Warriors to San Francisco, which a lot of people who are not from the Bay are like, what do you mean? They're just across the Bay. Yeah, not the same thing. And now the A's, who have been rumored to have been on their way out of Oakland 100,000 times in the last 20 years. This is the closest that it's ever been, and this appears to be a deal.
On a percentage scale, is this like a 99% done deal?
I'm not smart enough to know if it's 99%, but it sure sounds like it's getting to 90%.
Wow. Yeah, because I think what makes it the big deal, for what I read last night, was that they purchased the land. Yeah. Like, they were on, like, what did Lewis and Clark do?
What is
exploratory? They were on exploratory stuff before.
Yeah.
But now they've actually purchased it. It's out there. that makes it a little bit more real, I think.
The best part of all of this in Vegas is then now everybody, because remember the rumor, one of the big Vegas rumors for so many years was, oh, they're going to knock down the Rio and they're going to put a baseball stadium there. That was like the most common rumor ever. The other one that was akin to that was, oh boy, the real estate prices are going to go through the roof. Yeah, I don't know that a baseball stadium is going to do that necessarily anymore than it already has.
Yeah, no, even now, the Formula One thing, they said, oh, real estate's going to go crazy over there. Nothing has went up.
No.
Nothing has went
No.
I mean, but you hear all these things. Even when the Raiders came to town, they were saying, oh, my God, real estate's going to go so high around the stadium, and nothing has really went up. Actually, it did because of during the pandemic, everyone moving here from California and stuff, but it's now crashing, even though people may not admit that. It's going down.
Desert. It's a desert. It's not like it's Hawaii or the peninsula of San Francisco, right? Like where there's no more land to build on. They can build forever here, right? So it's always one of these things where the reward is always going to be slim and the risk is always going to be massive.
Yep.
And we see that cyclically here as well. Anyway, that's the latest on the A's. We'll read a statement after the break. More to talk about, I should say, with Bill Krackomberger. Unscripted with the Crackman, at Bill Crackman with the K on Twitter. And the name of the podcast, Wisecracks. Coming back on a numbers game at VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. I'm laughing because these tweets. We get tweets at Beating the Book.
I'm laughing at one, too. It's got to be the same one.
Oh, I don't know. There's a few. Jason H11, since you won't give out the sushi place, how about where you got those hair plugs?
Oh.
Now you got people thinking I got hair plugs. It's ridiculous. It's all mine, people. Todd Bubba Horwitz. I don't know if MLB can make it here, but the minor league aviators do very well here. Yes, they do. They absolutely do. But that's a lot more quaint.
Very good point, though. The aviators do good. A lot of people love bringing their kids to those games.
Oh, it's a wonderful experience, as had by all. But it's fewer games, and it's more quaint in Summerlin. This is a whole different deal.
Right.
Elvis Toast Patterson fan. Gilly, I noticed Crackman only has one bottle of water on set.
That's a real
I always see him with two.
He's right.
Take the Masters hat, Gilly, a nice conversation piece for your home. Wow,
honestly,
people are observant.
Honestly, I was being a funny at the beginning. All three of yours, actually. I was just being.
Are
funny.
You serious?
Yeah, they're all yours. All three.
I was really like in my head the whole time. Like, what do I do?
I should have messed with you and waited and said, "All right, Gil, I'm going to give you all three."
Because Chris Felica, he texted in.
Oh yeah, he did.
Yeah, he texted in. He goes, "I'd go mug. The mug is so great. Use mine all the time for hot chocolate."
I got to go by him. He's right. Someone told me at the Masters. Someone told me the mug. Like someone said, get a lot of mugs because people love mugs. So I bought 6 mugs.
This was very sweet of you. I thank you.
Yeah, no, they're all yours. I'm just busting.
Thank you.
But the number one thing to get though is a gnome. They have a gnome.
Oh yeah.
There's 300 of them per day. They sell out in 10 minutes. So 7 a.m., 7:10, they're gone. You have to run in there and get the gnome. And
you were saying they make just gobs of money from merchandise.
Yeah, 1.1 million. I think they said an hour this year.
An hour.
Yeah. Yeah. By the way, what a beautiful gift shop! Wow, it's giant.
What did you end up doing? Did you end up following a golfer around or staying in one hole?
No, I did the whole course.
You did the whole
course.
Oh
yeah, I did. But I really, really, really was taken that first day. I'd never been there. Was really taken back by the 13th hole. Of course, the Amen corner and just so beautiful. I just didn't expect it. It's manicured so perfectly for this event. Everything at Augusta revolves around this golf tournament too. Everything. So Augusta really controls it too. They're really trying to even crack down on the people that are selling tickets outside, and they're really buying shopping centers. And Chris just said, "Yep, I got the Christmas gnome in 2020." I told you it's hard to get because when I went in the gift shop. One of the managers there, I met one of the managers. I said, "How do you get one of these things?" So I'm not going to say. The next day, I got one. I did get one the next day. So I have.
Where are you going to put that gnome?
I don't know.
Isn't your wife like, why do we have this gnome?
No, I'm thinking of giving it to Casey's son, Casey Kerr.
Oh, there you go.
His son. He don't have a gnome, but I just know Casey. He'll probably sell it on eBay. I just know the way he is. Just
Alan Mitchell, Gil. I think no less of you. Or the show, knowing your hair is not natural. There we go.
This is going to be forever now. I really started it.
Vegas Vice. The best thing about this is a great point. Great point by Vegas Vice. The best thing about the A's coming to Las Vegas is the blackouts on major league games for the Padres, Dodgers, Angels, Giants, and Diamondbacks would end for those of us who like to watch baseball, since only the A's will claim us as home territory. And then a numbers game in-house attorney, Mark Geiger, goes the other way. He says it's a land deal only.
Whoa.
What they do with it is an entirely different matter. They're looking for taxpayer money to help finance the stadium. If that fails, they may just sell the land and stay in Oakland. And then Terry Ray points out the most peripatetic, that the franchises that have moved the most in the NBA, NFL, and MLB have all passed through Oakland. The Warriors from Philly to San Francisco to Oakland and back to San Francisco. The Raiders from Oakland to LA, back to Oakland and now in Vegas. And the Athletics, Philadelphia to Kansas City to Oakland, and perhaps now Las Vegas.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. I want to get into something that I wasn't going to get into it, but I just thought about, because you notice the hat's not up here. Why are we so superstitious? Why? Even though all the models, the algorithms, the programs, yet I still won't put a hat on a table. I still won't put shoes on a bed or a table. Well, just from being a little kid, knowing that maybe it's just, now this could just be a New York thing if you haven't heard of this. It just could be a Northeastern thing or some New York kind of thing. Bad luck putting
shoes on the table for sure.
Shoes on the table, shoes on a bed, hat.
I don't know about hat. I don't know if I know that one.
Oh yeah, you can. I haven't Googled it, but I know a hat.
Well,
definitely don't put your hat on the table.
Now,
like for bad luck. Why do we still have to have that with us?
Sports betting superstitions.
Yeah.
The biggest one, of course, is don't act like you've won anything before it's final.
Right.
And certainly if it's somebody else's bet, don't say, "Oh, you got this. Nice win," before it's final.
Yeah,
that's the biggest one. You can't say that.
I'll tell you something. Teddy Atlas drew someone out of the house for this. Did I talk about this already once or no?
You may have.
I did
but
once.
It's been a long time.
He threw a guy out of the house. I was with him. He's like, "Listen, you got to get." I brought a buddy of mine over there that wanted to see Teddy. A very wealthy guy, donates to the charity.
Yeah.
And Teddy didn't care about none of that stuff. When this guy said, "Oh, this is a lock," he said the word "lock" on Tampa. I remember it was a Tampa Monday night game.
Threw him out.
Yeah, he's like, "Get this guy out of my house."
Did the guy like sort of quietly say back to Teddy, "You realize this is not science, right? You realize I have nothing to do with the outcome of this game?"
No, but he said it was a lock with 9 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Teddy's like, "What's this guy doing?
Get him out of here."
He called me to the kitchen. You got to get this guy out of the house.
Did you get him out?
No, because you can't throw someone out of the house. Anyway, it's just something I thought of. Yeah, no, you can't. And going back to the superstitions of the East Coast, New Jersey, New York, Staten Island. Staten Island is the king of this kind of stuff. Staten Island, New York, literally is the king of box pools, and every bar has. It's probably the biggest in the. Yeah, it is. It's the biggest in the United States. There's like millions of dollars involved in some of these things. These box pools. They take their gambling very serious there in Staten Island.
Staten Island, home of the world's largest garbage dump, I believe, as well.
They're the garbage fill. Yeah, it's pretty big there. Across from the Staten Island Mall.
Yeah, across from the mall.
It's right across from the mall. Used to be an OTB at that mall, right in the back of that mall, on a little shop. Matter of fact, Goodfellas was made there. Goodfellas. The scenes where they were running away from the helicopter, they pull over in that shopping center. Still a great pizza place there, by the way. Bella Vista, there's still a good pizza place there. White pie, the best white pie on Staten Island. I just forget the full name of the place. But there was a OTB there. Boy, I have to admit it. I must have been a little degen because I've been in that OTB when I was in like the late 80s, early 90s. I was in that OTB. But anyway, besides that area there, Staten Island has some of the most beautiful, gaudy houses too. Some of them, but it's just where like all the mob guys move out of New York or Brooklyn. It's either in Brooklyn or Staten Island. That's what it is. So
Rich Eisen grew up in Staten Island. I know among sportscasters.
There you go.
When we come back for the break, I want to ask you. Well, we could start here because I want to ask you about this. So, this has been a trend for a while with legalized sports betting. But it has come up a few times here in the last week or so where books are issuing refunds after certain things happen in sporting events. So, in other words, Shohei was pitching. A lot of people had prop bets on Shohei. Then there's a rain delay in the middle of the game. He doesn't come back afterwards. Refund for everybody. There's a couple other instances. I mean, we've seen this happen now. One of the sort of, I don't know if it was anticipated or unanticipated, sort of offshoots of legalized sports betting is that as a marketing tool, and let's make no mistake, this is what this is, sports books have decided to curry public favor publicly, right? Curry public favor by saying, hey, you know what? I know that went against you. Like there was a tennis match where somebody was, down to they're almost going to win. They're one game away from winning, and then the other girl walked off the court. We'll refund all of them. Now, clearly when they do this, they don't have a lot of liability. You know, they don't have a lot of money to be made there, so it's an easy decision for them. But I'm curious your thoughts on that as a trend and as a precedent setting. And then also the reaction. Now we have the reaction of sports bettors who, like, when one book does it and another doesn't, they're like, "Oh, a class action lawsuit against the one who's not doing it."
It's
just ridiculous.
I mean, they're using it as a marketing tool to give money back. You can't sue another sports book because they're not doing the same thing. I mean,
but this is where we've gotten to.
At first, though, I thought it was great. At first, I said, "Wow, look how this is for the bettors, and it's really cool." But to avoid other people getting mad at you, because it's only online, it's not at the counter.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the reason why is a lot of the sports books throw out anyone or lower them to such a little tiny bet on the app that they're forced to go to the counters and bet or send beards in.
So
to
they're
bet.
generally not big bets online.
So
anyway.
they're generally not big bets online. You hit it right on the head. Right. I was going to get exactly that. They're generally not big bets. They're really for the square public, betting $10, $20 on them, and so. They probably make it look like so, but that aggravates some people too. It aggravates a lot of people that actually bet with that sports book.
Well, of course,
because they're not getting their money back, or they're not allowed to bet online.
Well, if you did it for this situation, why didn't you do it for this situation?
Or arrest that. That can happen too. Are you going to do it again now because this happened? Yeah.
But it's not going to stop, is it?
I wish it would, though.
I do too.
I really wish it would. Even I just wish it would stop. But then again, it's helping out Joe Public, so I guess in that sense, I guess I wish it stays. So.
I would think books would say it would open up more problems for them in the long run, but clearly they don't feel that way at this point. More with the Crack Man Unscripted on the other side, and a restaurant recommendation from Ortega next. Gill Alexander, that is Brian Ortega in for the day. Brian, restaurant recommendation number 2 in Vegas for people coming here would be?
I would say Scarpetta. It's an Italian restaurant over at the Cosmopolitan.
Literally the only restaurant at the Cosmo that I haven't eaten at.
I think we've had this conversation before. Yeah, but I enjoy it because it's very approachable. The menus, it has expensive stuff on the menu, but they have really good pasta. They have spaghetti. They have tagliatelle, which is my favorite.
Tagliatelle.
Yeah, tagliatelle. I never say it right. And then their dessert I had for the first time because I was doing a reel, and it's their chocolate cake with amaretto ice cream. Fantastic.
Wow.
Highly recommend.
Scarpetta.
Very good restaurant. I've been there.
Oh, look at that!
Mario's the GM there. He's excellent.
Oh, very nice.
He used to be at SW. He's there. He's the greatest guy, and Scarpetta is great. If you get to sit by one of the windows overlooking the
it's beautiful.
Yeah, it's really nice.
Really
windows
underrated,
overlooking
great view of the fountain.
I didn't even know about that. They had views out there. Oh wow, I got to go there. By the way, I did a faux pas there. It's either the Cosmopolitan or Cosmo. I said the Cosmo. You're not allowed to say that.
That's true. Yeah, and the employees are told not to say Cosmo.
Oh, okay. The Cosmopolitan.
Because that sounds like the magazine. Which is why you can't say the Cosmopolitan.
I see. Okay, I got it. Brian Ortega, Concierge Confidential, the name of his podcast.
Oh, wow.
We'll have one more restaurant recommendation coming up.
I'm looking forward to it.
All right. So far, Scarpetta, and what was the other one before that again?
Stanton Social Prime at Caesar's Palace.
Okay. Third coming
Which
up.
7 stars seems to not do anything there.
Oh, don't start the 7 stars discussion with Billy.
Oh, I was saying that before on the break a little bit. Yeah, no, 7 stars, not worth much in Vegas, worth much more in Atlantic City because of the lounges. Harrah's has a lounge. Now, I say lounge, it's a restaurant. You sit down, a menu. By the way, carving station, top stuff. This is not like a cheap little buffet kind of food. Top stuff, shrimp cocktails. I mean, top shelf liquor. Beautiful place in Atlantic City. There's 3 of them. And I'll rank them in order.
Don't tell
it's
Fezzik.
The Harrah's
Fezzik's
Lounge
on a
first.
plane right now to Jersey.
Yeah, the Harrah's Lounge is number 1. Caesar's close second. Same thing, sit down menu, everything there, and then Tropicana being the third one there. It's that for view, the ambiance. It's the top of the Trop. It's really cool overlooking the city. All the violence and everything.
Just throw that in.
So you could overlook the city, though. It really is nice nighttime there. But here we don't have those lounges, so the value is just totally gone here.
Right, but on the other hand, and we should get Fezzik in here. We should get Steve Fezzik in here to debate you on this because he's a big 7 stars guy. In fact, I don't think he'd object if I said his entire North Star in life is to accumulate 7 stars points.
Yeah.
He, I would be the guy, for years I'd be like, I don't want, I was like, if I would kill it in tennis, like on hard courts, I'd be like, I don't want them to know my tennis, but I don't want them to know it's me, right? And then after a while, like Fezzik's like, well, I'm going to the Atlantis in the Bahamas free.
He's
I'm going
right,
on
though.
a cruise.
He's right to do that.
So yes.
I'm wrong. I don't take advantage of that.
Exactly.
I have it.
So like, he's right. I mean,
right.
at that point, I'm like, you're going where? Oh, I mean, you're paying all that money to go to this island. I'm going for free to the Bahamas. I'm like, okay.
He sent me a text yesterday on this, just yesterday. Are you going to the Bahamas free vacation this summer? And I was like, that's the 7-star. I'm terrible. I didn't even know about it because I didn't. He's right. He's right.
He's right. And I'm going to tell you, I didn't even want to
stuff.
say this out loud, what I'm about to say. But I feel like this is one of these things that years from now we will look back on and we'll say, "Do you remember when Caesars used to give out those Atlantis trips?"
Everything is going. Everything ends.
I'm right, aren't I?
Seinfeld ended.
Yeah.
Everything goes.
Everything goes.
Stops.
Because I really feel like it's going to happen right before I get there.
Oh,
right?
wow.
Like they're going to be like, "Where's Gill?"
Sports betting wise, though, they're very good to us. Steve is right.
Yeah.
Caesars is very good.
They take bets.
I'll get the 7-star thing in 2 months. Literally, the first 2 months. I have it already for next year, and here we are. Only in April, and I already have it qualified for the following year. I have it in 2024. And you know what? They do take bets, and I hope they continue to take bets.
Yep.
I heard a bad rumor. So,
oh no, don't say that.
From someone from a big person too.
MGM takes bets here too as well. They do
in person.
Yes.
Yeah.
In person.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, DraftKings took a bet. Can we show this now a year later?
Yeah, I didn't show it last year. I never posted it on Twitter. I never posted that online. That was my tickets from last year because they were taking, not my tickets, I'm sorry. That is my app, a photo of my app from last year when they were taking bets on the draft.
Paolo
big
Banchero,
bets.
NBA draft. Paolo Banchero to go first.
Yep.
What's your, so 5 to win 50?
Yep.
I'm seeing up top there,
There's
5 to win 65 there at the bottom.
Yeah, so I won 6 figures from them on the draft last year. They were very good to me on the draft. And you know what? They put an overall win-loss statement at the end of the year. It was a really healthy number. I was really happy that they kept me in for that long, because they typically lower. Listen, that's a bet. If I work at DraftKings, I'm not allowing no one to bet 5,000 on a 12. I'm not allowing a Bill Krackomberger to do it anyway. I'm allowing Joe Public to do it. That bets 5,000 on ball games and 10,000 on ball games with no edge.
So this segues nicely then into the NFL draft, which I brought up earlier.
Yeah,
you might not have been listening, but guess how many prop bets total, individual prop bets on the NFL draft currently exist in this town?
Oh, in this town. Is there any? Oh, no, Stations has a whole list.
Stations has 20.
They're taking $1,000 on them, too.
I know they are.
Yeah.
Because I went in there. I didn't push it past the dime, but I did a dime on each. But Stations has 26 of them. I want to get this right. Stations has a grand total of 27 props. 16 of them are team to position, 11 others. They have 27. Guess how many beyond those 27 prop bets exist in this town?
In this town?
In this town.
I don't know anyone has them up. Who has them up?
One prop bet.
Oh, okay.
Nothing at South Point, nothing at Circa, nothing at Westgate, nothing at MGM, nothing at Wynn. Currently nothing at Caesars, although I haven't checked my app during the show. But they had 5 up and now those are gone. And then there's 2 props at Boyd. Only one of them's active, which is for the number 1 pick. That is literally the only prop bet outside of Stations that exists in Las Vegas, Nevada for the NFL draft.
I got to give Stations credit.
I do too.
I tell you right now.
I gave them last week.
Now that you said it, I went to their app just to look. I know they were taking $1,000. So now what Gill's saying is, like, number of quarterbacks drafted in round 1, over under 4.5, and you could bet $1,000 either way.
Yep.
That's unbelievable.
Yep.
That's unbelievable. Now, compared to last year, it's unbelievable. I say it's unbelievable compared to we didn't even have them up here till like the last couple days, and then they had to take it down. Like, didn't they take it down 24 hours before the draft?
Well, there's some of the chirpier books in town.
Okay.
Right? Don't really want to put it up.
No, they don't want it up.
But they'll put it up for 48 hours just to say they did, kind of thing.
Oh,
right?
It wasn't a law to take it down or something?
Well, it is the midnight before.
Right.
So the Wednesday night at midnight, so Thursday morning, Thursday of this coming week, it is still a gaming law that you have to take them down. There's no reason for
okay. I thought you were going to say the reason.
There's
There's something I'm missing.
No.
You remember here when we were here last year, though, in studio, after I gave out Banchero, I sent it out to all my Crack Wins guys, too. I mean, Banchero, this is a big thing for me last year.
Oh,
I sent
for
it
me
out,
too.
came in here, and was it Woj? Someone on the air on ESPN said, that it wasn't going to be Banchero, and the odds went back up again. We were here on air.
Yes.
I said, I'm going to go to the border again because it went down from my 12-1 that I got it at. By the way, even after I bet it.
You, Drew Dinsick, and me.
That's right.
We all had Banchero.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. But here at the Westgate, I even got it at 18-1. I couldn't even believe it. It came up after, like a couple days before. I had to give them credit. But I was going to go to the border again. We were on air. It went from 10-1 to 6-1. And then I just never went back again. I already had it pounded already. And then sure enough, that same guy at night, Woj, goes
5 minutes before.
Yeah, 5 minutes before.
Yep.
And says, I'm hearing Banchero is going to be number one. And people, we're betting real money. There's blood on the line here. And yeah, sure, you got your nice 7-figure salary. We're betting sports for a living. I'm betting sports for a living.
How much of that has to do? It certainly doesn't help, right? That's part of the reason why they don't want to book this stuff. They don't want to have that happen to them. They don't want, because everybody said Bryce Young's going to be the first pick in the draft.
Yeah.
Well, what if he's not? Right? But here's the irony of all of this is, of all the NFL drafts, this was the one that they could have made so much bank on because someone has been massive minus money at different times in all of these.
Oh, the number one and number two guys.
So let's just take the number one. So people would have bet Anthony Richardson at minus money. They would have bet C.J. Stroud at minus money. They, Bryce. If it's not Bryce, they would have had. So they would have made so much money booking this draft, and I think they left tons of money on the table. I really do.
To be fair, boy, there's a lot of people are going to be mad
here
about
we
it.
go.
No, they're going to be mad at me because I'm saying this. The draft is like one of the most beatable things.
Of course.
Just me giving out plays to my guys. I think I was 18-4 last year. It's
you're preaching to the choir. We've year after year after year on this show. We've been like 8-0, 12-1.
Oh,
that
right.
kind
So
of thing.
you get yeah.
But here's the thing. You don't want to give us one thing in the world, just one time a year,
right,
where we can win something,
right?
Where it's not where we can win something, where it's tipped in our favor a little bit.
I'll tell you when we come back from break, I'm going to shock you about this year's booking of the drafts. A couple things I know.
Oh,
so I'll shock you about some things.
From the Crack Man. On the other side, Numbers Game VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. Jay Buckley, appreciate the solid insight with the Crack Man as always. Two stand-up guys sitting down.
Hey, thanks, Jay.
Thank you. Chris of St. Bart's. Restaurant recommendation spirit, Bill asked Bill where he ate in Augusta and at Hilton Head.
Oh, a place called T-Bones. This guy that owns it, I think his name is Mark. He owns 24 of restaurants. I ate at T-Bones one night. There's just not any. It's not what you think. I know Augusta. I know it's the highest held golf tournament of the year. You're still in the South in the little area that just doesn't have like the quality restaurants. But I ate there, and I just literally. Where did I eat? I ate at inside the Masters, their cheese sandwich for $1.50.
You did have some?
Oh yeah, of course.
How many of those did you put down?
The $1.50 cheese sandwich, pimento cheese sandwich is what they're known for. They even have T-shirts that say sell and stuff. But they're everything there is unbelievably cheap as far as that goes because they keep that old school. Sodas are $1. The ham and cheese is $2. It's really cool.
Ben McGovern. Keep in mind that the A's will have no major competition in the summer here in Vegas, and casinos will buy most of the luxury boxes and club-level seats. The locals and tourists will probably only need to average $17 to $25K to make it worthwhile. Mike Stacks, speaking of your hair, Gil, and how fresh it always looks, have you stopped getting the hard part or the line? Yeah, I have. Had its moment. I'm done with the hard line.
All right.
Stephen Vegas, the only thing Oakland has left that Vegas has yet to take is Rapper Too Short. And with how much he's in town performing at pool parties, he may already have a home here as well. Len Glauzensky. Guys, my 3 biggest jinx/superstitions. 1, a $2 bill. 2, saying good luck after the bet is made. And 3, it's a lock. Those are deadly. That's from Lenny. Let's see. And on with these. We appreciate. I got to read this one more. Alpha Sports Betting. Ancient Rome, bettors whispered to Fortuna, the goddess of luck, before placing bets at chariot races. One day, a cheeky gambler offered a rooster as a sacrifice. Fortuna was amused, and his long shot bet won. Now Romans carry rooster feathers for luck.
Wow.
Just all kinds of tweets.
Chris Felica just said the fresh market for food there, so that was the place to go.
Fresh market in Augusta?
That's good to know, in Augusta. Yeah.
Brian Ortega, final restaurant recommendation of the day.
Oh boy, this is actually kind of like a tease, though. There is a new speakeasy at Absinthe. It's right next to the Big Tent. They just opened it 3 weeks ago, and it's called the Pier 17, and it has really good drinks, but they also have burgers. So they have burgers that are burgers with tots, is $19, which is actually not bad for this town. They do also have their Superstar Tots, which can be $50 and $100 because they have caviar included on them. I did not try those.
Wow.
But
Wow.
it is pretty cool.
God, am I
Speakeasies are
hungry.
awesome. My favorite speakeasy is at the Cosmopolitan called Ghost Donkey. Check it out. That's my favorite spot.
Cool.
They have a couple speakeasies at the Cosmo.
They do. That one's
at the
my
Cosmopolitan, pardon me.
Yeah.
That's the one behind
That one's behind 16 Block, which is that
16
food court
block.
area.
Yeah, because there's another one, right?
Yeah, there's also Ski Lodge and then Barbershop, but that doesn't count. So don't say Barbershop's speakeasy.
Brian Ortega, everybody.
Cool.
What was the NFL draft stuff you wanted to mention?
I'll get to that in 1 second. Randy McKay just said, damn, I should have had you get me a Masters hat for my collection.
It's my hat,
so
Randy.
I just surprised
Back
him
off.
and said, Randy, you got one. So I got him one. But anyway, speaking of which, Randy, he gave me some NHL last night. The New York, was it the Islanders last night, and I missed it. I forgot to get it in, and then during the game they were down 1-0. I got plus 380. I was all happy that because it was tied up 2-2, and then 3-3, and then
went to OT.
And then OT was it a bad beat or something?
There was a high sticking that was
yeah.
not called.
It wasn't called, right?
Yeah.
But I'm going to give this out, Randy. I don't know if I should or not, but without asking you, but I'm going to. Toronto series +1. Is that didn't start yet?
Game
right?
2 is tonight. Game two. Toronto's down 1-0.
Now, when did they lose that game though? A couple days ago.
A couple days ago.
Okay, so now you can get them +120. He's saying, and yeah, I did see +123 actually.
He's going Leafs. He has faith in the Leafs.
Yeah, so there's something. There,
we have a lot of listeners in viewers in Canada at Game Plus, and the Leafs winning the cup might be as big of a pick team to city in any sport desire of anything in North America.
Right.
Haven't won a cup since '67. Haven't won a series since the year 2004 playoff series. So that's where Toronto is. They're down 1-0 to the Lightning. Lightning got a touchdown worth of goals.
Cool.
Plus the extra point in game 1.
Cool. Where's those odds from? I can't read that.
That's from DraftKings there.
DraftKings. Okay, you can still get +120. Good.
What was your NFL draft prop thing?
Oh, my NFL. I was saying that this year's draft. Listen, we all know it's coming to an end. We all know this draft betting is coming to an end for pros, not for Joes, but for the pros. It's coming to an end.
Yeah.
So it's so much different. It's so hard.
You feel it is coming to an end.
Look at this. Look at last year. They were taking $5,000 bets from me.
Yeah.
And now I'm forced to go to a counter, but not the Atlantic City counter. Atlantic City is not, as of right now, not booking the draft.
Not booking.
Not. You can go to the counter there, and they're going to tell you app only, which most people that are sharp are thrown off the app are limited to a little bit. So I find that very interesting, though, how a market there, but yet I can go to Indiana or go to Foxwoods or something, and bet the DraftKings. Or I'm pretty, kind of a little perplexed by that, like how they're not booking. They just don't want to book. You know what it is? There's so many sharp, the backpack crew, I call them. The backpack guys coming in with backpacks and coming into Atlantic City, I guess, betting that particular the draft, something like that. And they just said, I'm shocked they did this, though. They said, no, it's not on for anybody. So they closed it for anyone as of right now. So hopefully they do open it back up. But listen, I'd like to bet nickels on it, though, on certain things. Sure, there's still some things I like to bet. Unfortunately, I can't bet on it because I can't go to the border anymore to do that. That was a fun time while it happened. And they took a lot of bets off me. And I beat them on a golf bet of 180-1 also. I beat them out of a lot of money. So they were very good to me. I'll tell you right now. But the counters, you can bet. Same thing with FanDuel. The FanDuel counter at Bally's in Atlantic City, they were taking like $3,000 on college baseball from me 2 weeks ago when I was there. So they're taking bets at the counter, but
I didn't know you were betting college baseball.
I was betting some college baseball.
There you go.
A couple of college baseball totals. I didn't win, put it that way. So I didn't lose, but I didn't win. I broke about even. But so that's just different ways that the draft this year. I'm hoping we're going to get some stuff, and I have to give credit to stations.
I do too.
Even though I'm not allowed to bet there, but it doesn't matter. That's unbelievable. They're taking $1,000 bets. We were talking about something before. One of your guys, I'm not going to say his name, was saying something about your wife playing or something. Like, it's hard for my wife to play because I can't really beard in another name Krackomberger. It's hard. Like, I think they'll know if a Mrs. Krackomberger joins. They say that could have something to do with Bill. It's not like my name is Alexander or Smith or something. But anyway, that's just something I was. I know it's all coming to an end, stuff like that. I wish it wasn't, and it was nice while we had it. and you still can get it in certain jurisdictions too. And you don't want to beard into the sports books, though. But they make you. I'm sorry, it's not. It's all of the sports books too. No one else is going to talk about that kind of thing. Listen, why not just take a bet off Bill Krackomberger? Know it's him betting, and take a $300 bet or a $500 bet, rather than have me go in. Oh, by the way, I'm going to get a nice bonus on the way in. And this goes for all. This is a blanket statement for all the apps that are in this country. Why, throw us out or limit us? And, I lost 7,000 at one book, and they threw Barstool. I lost 7,000. They threw me out.
Well, this gets back to our poor profiling commentary as well. You lost, and I always talk about the ones where somebody gets lucky the first week they're on something, right?
Yeah.
Like somebody who's like the worst bettor ever.
Good point.
They'll just have they'll bet a parlay, it'll hit big, and then they'll ban that person or limit him to the point where it's a virtual ban. And it's like, you just ruined yourself. You just left money on the table with this person, because the offshores know how to profile.
Correct.
I'm not sure the legal ones do quite yet.
Yeah, they don't. You said it good. You left money on the table.
You left money on the table.
Like the guy that I knew that came into town and won money on tennis, which he just got lucky, ran luck, but lost 6 figures in NFL.
Yeah.
But they didn't get that far with him because he had to lose it to BetMGM instead. It's hard to believe these things that happen. These things do happen all the time. But anyway, yeah.
Bill, always appreciate it, man. Thank you for the gift.
Oh yeah, no problem. Yeah, we got.
You sure they're all for me? Yeah,
they're all for you.
Oh,
By the way,
you.
you should use the keychain. It's great. I put my keys right on it. It's just a standout things here. Little, let me take the prices off, because you'll put them on eBay too, probably. Let me get these off.
I'll just put them on eBay. Thank you, Bill. Bill Krackomberger, everybody. At Bill Crackman with the K on Twitter. Unscripted.
Go to VSiN.com/subscribe to become a VSiN Pro subscriber today.